taught there was the golden rule: to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. There's certain aspects of my life, obviously, that have not been perfect. I, to me, am not a perfect being. Perfection, to me, is a myth. Biblically, there's only one that's been perfect, and that's Christ. The Spirit is perfect. The Spirit makes no mistakes. The Spirit loves innately, just naturally, just loves. Nature is naturally, works together. It naturally works together. That love that's within nature, that's within the Spirit, agape love, God love, just love because it is. I love you. I love you because you are. You are a being. You are a part of the universe. To me, universal principles is things that are truths no matter what. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, there are some universal truths that apply to everybody, to everything. Nature, that's in nature. And spiritually, it's the same. And when we get emotions, when we get to focusing on issues or things that we can agree or disagree on, when our energies get up, when we get out of balance, that's where God is not. God is balanced. God is neither positive nor negative. God is. There's a balance to this life. And the more we can seek understanding, the more that we can look at others and see, can we understand them? The more our vision will become more like God. Because God sees everything 360. Everything. Neither judging it, nor approving it, or disapproving it. Now, in the Bible, it says God disapproves of certain actions. Yes, we do have biblical principles and rules and regulations that we go by and live by. But I really feel that God accepts us where we are. When we are, whatever we are, God is. Now, that agape love helps us to understand, but seek to understand and not all the time be understood. God love. The Healing Dogs is the Healing Dogs, this nonprofit. It's about teaching love from the inside. It's about having a solid foundation to operate from. And that foundation is love. It's about loving one another. And that love can be taught. That love can be realized. That love can be understood and lived. Because each experience that we go through, whether it's negative or positive, we're going to return back to balance. So now we are here. The NFL made a tremendous showing, to me, of solidarity. Unprecedented solidarity. Owners coming down out of their suites, locking hands with players. There was solidarity, but there was still dissension because you had some guys standing up and interlocking their arms and some guys still kneeling. So there was still some dissension amongst the troops. There was still respect for love for the team. It was still respect for operational standards, having bosses, being able to listen to bosses, being able to come to an agreement. All of that manifested this weekend. But it was in response to something that was negative. And it drew a whole lot of people out. It drew a whole lot of people out in a whole lot of situations. It drew them out. Owners, the commissioner, quarterbacks that had been silent about the protests and about about police brutality, about discrimination, about the fact even in the league things need to be worked out. But we've been quiet about it. All of a sudden, boom, everybody speaks. So it drew a whole lot of people out. So somebody had to take stances. Everybody had to a degree, do something about what was said. It was mandatory. So with that, I applaud that. I love that. I love the fact that people got drawn out. I love the fact that a lot of teams came together and they did some things together. I love it because I love the aspect of team. It's always to me about the team. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. That's Spock. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I think the needs of the many at this point in time is we need love. One of my Twitter followers said, love won't stop a bullet. No, love won't stop a bullet, but love may stop the guy who's about to pull the trigger. If we have real love, we operate from a real love perspective. Love will stop people from brutalizing other people. If you really love somebody, can you do that? Will you do that? No. Love has stopped the many things. Love, God love because you are. I love you. I love you. Whoever is looking, I love you. So how do we continue to love each other? How do we grow from this? What's going to happen? What's going to be the effective change? We're going to have discussions. We're going to have more marches. We're going to have more kneeling. We're going to have people not like it when guys don't stand for the national anthem. That's still going to happen. Is that going to make a difference? When is it going to make a difference? How many meetings do we have to have? Now, there's nothing wrong with the communication in meetings. Yes, we need those. We need communication. That's where some of the bonding can happen. That's where some of the more understanding can happen. But what's going to really change? What's going to really change in this? Who's going to really change it? Where's it going? Where? Whether you kneel on the job or not. Whether you protest on the job or not. Whether you stand up for the flag or not. What does that matter? That's stuff. That's just stuff. And it's issues that we're going to argue over. It's issues that we're going to continue to argue over. And these same issues have been argued over for how long? For how long? Yes, we need protests. We do need protests. We need things to be talked about. We need to have meetings. But while we're having those meetings, where is the love? Where is the effective change? We get laws changed, rules changed. How far does it go? How far does it go? How many times and how many things do we have to deal with? How far? Okay, what's next on the sidelines? What's next? What's next at work? What's next? There's something that's coming. If we continue to do this, there's something else that's going to be protested. So what's next? What's the next process? What's the next happening? That's one of the things that we lean on now, and a lot of people lean on the next day's news. What's coming up next? Okay, so why do we need to have effective change? We need that. We gotta have effective change. Otherwise, it's always going to be what's the next day's news. What's going to be debated next until there is the love that's necessary and needed to make again the change that we need. The maturity. How do we handle these things in a mature manner? The emotional maturity that we need. The ability to disagree and still be able to work together. To not hold each other in harm's way or to push each other in harm's way because we don't agree. Because our psyche or ego can't deal with somebody else seeing something different than us, or somebody else having an agenda or a problem that they see that is more important, or they just got a problem. But how can we be our brother's keeper? How can we? It's possible. How much time do we have to really make these effective changes? It's a lifetime. But the lives that we have are a blink of an eye, like they say in the Bible. The legacy that we're going to leave over what? Maybe something that is looked upon in history as a benefit, something that's looked back upon and said, hey, he made a difference here. But in reality, what is the difference that's being made if it doesn't last? If we mask the same old and put the wolves in different types of clothing, or even the sheep in different type of clothing. What's changing in reality? I mean, the position that I've been given, I've chosen to do things that I believe in, that I've been taught to believe in, that my life has taught me to believe in, and the things that I have seen that can make lasting change. Nothing, unless it is continually built upon, after a foundation is laid, nothing lasts forever. You know that we are constantly evolving. That's why it's so important to use reflection. It's so important for us to think about some of the things that we have gone through, some of the experiences that we have had, and be able to use those experiences to grow. Not just use them to grow, but use that energy to really reach back and help someone, lift somebody else up. That choice for me is the shirt that I have on. It's the Healing Dogs. In the back of it, it says, teaching love from the inside. So my agenda or my passion is teaching. My passion is teaching from my experiences. That's my passion. And my experiences have taught me to try to build from a team-oriented perspective. That's my experiences. Now, can I be taught to build from other experiences? Yes, but I'm gonna have to go through them. But I'm gonna also have to see them and analyze them as well, and feel them, and see whether they're right for me. I want to do something else. I want to see effective change because of the things that I've lived through. Because of those things, I want to see change. And I want it to change for me. And I wanted to change for my kids and my grandkids. Yes, I want to see change for love's sake. So I'll go about teaching love from the inside. I'll go about helping people develop emotional maturity based on the experiences that Earnest Byner has had and based on the love that I have for the fellow man.